A very good morning, NJ in class. Your English ma'am welcome you all in today's period. Today, I'm going to introduce a fresh poem, India's Pride, and this poem is written by Sarojini Naidu. Children, this poem is the part of lesson 10 in your Magic Lantern. Cleared? Okay. So, as the title reflects its content, what exactly you are going to read in this poem, India's Pride. Can you guess who are a country's pride? Of course, its citizens are, but a part of that, the soldiers who maintain the respect and the prestige of that country, give a sense of safety to its people. They are mainly the pride of a country. Okay, here we are going to talk about the Indian soldiers who have sacrificed their life in the First World War. This World War took place between 1914 to 1918, and at that time, India was under British rule. So it means that the Indian soldiers who have been killed in First World War or have sacrificed themselves, that was not for the sake of their motherland. It was for the sake of their colonial masters, means for the Britishers have used Indian soldiers. They have sent Indian soldiers to sacrifice themselves for their sake. And here in this poem, Sarojini Naidu has given a tribute to the contribution of those Indian soldiers who sacrificed themselves on on a foreign land for the sake of their masters, for the sake of their duty only. So here, as I told you, this poem is written by Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu is also known as the Nightingale of India, and she was born on 18th February 1879 in Hyderabad. Children, she was an Indian political activist and poet. A part of that, she was a prominent of civil rights. She was a proponent, sorry, it's proponent of civil rights, women, emancipation, and anti imperialistic ideas. What is the meaning of proponent? Proponent means the one who supports to a particular idea or particular thought. Okay, so she was a part of that. She was an important figure in India's struggle for independence from colonial rule also. Sarojini Naidu's work as a poet earned her the sobriquet, the Nightingale of India or Bharat Ratna. Means just because of her prominent work in literature, she has been given the title of Nightingale of India or Bharat Kokila. She was the first woman to become the governor of an Indian state, and in 1905 her first collection of poems, that was the Golden Threshold, it was published. Some of her other literary works, such as The Broken Wing, Songs of Life, Death and the Spring, The Separate Flute, Songs of India, and The Feather of Dawn. Okay, her poems are known for their musical quality and are a reflection of India's glorious culture. This poem, the poem we are going to read today, India's Pride, children, it is titled as, in your book, it is titled as India's Pride, while it is known as Gift of India. Gift of India means what India has gifted in First World War to the other countries, her soldiers. Okay, so this poem depicts the pain and the pride of those mothers who have lost their sons in this war. So this poem was composed for the report of the Hyderabad Ladies War Relief Association in December 1915, during the First World War. And Sarojini Naidu left us on 2nd March 1949 in Lucknow. Now, what is the theme of this poem? Theme is why we are going to read this poem, what emotions or feelings it develops or evokes. So, children, uh, as as the title reflects India's pride, and this poem is a description, a tribute to the soldiers who have sacrificed themselves on the foreign land. So somewhere this poem gives a sense of patriotism, means we they people have lost themselves just for the sake of duty. Okay, it was not that much a noble cause for which a soldier can be called a martyr, but they have sacrificed themselves, and that sacrifice was selfless. It was only for the sake of keeping the prestige of their country, as they were Indian soldiers, so they can't put a blame on their country's name. Okay, so for that sake, they have sacrificed themselves. A part of that, we get we this poem depicts the anti-war sides also, means what exactly the war brings in one's life. A war is made between two countries, or maybe many countries, but whosoever is going to get the victory, the loss is made from both sides. Uncountable people loses their life, their properties, their loved ones, means for many years we keep on paying back for the losses that have been made during these battles, these wars. So somewhere this chapter, this poem gives a lesson, a moral, that war is never ever a solution of any conflict. Peace is always a better option. And when a soldier sacrifices his life, so whether it is that soldier was fighting from our side, or the against from the enemy side, the loss of life is a big loss, and we must have respect for that. As in this war, the Britishers have not paid any honor, any homage to those Indian soldiers who have sacrificed themselves for their sake. Even the British soldiers have been honored, but the Indian soldiers have been fully neglected. Okay, now let's read this poem. As I told you, that this poem depicts the pain and the pride of a mother who has lost her sons in a war. Here, this a mother is our motherland, India. So, this mother word is representing our country, India, the motherland, as well as all those thousands of mothers who have lost their sons in this First World War, who have never come back. Cleared? So now I'm going to read and explain this poem. Basically, this poem has 4 stanzas carrying 6 lines each. Okay, so pay attention, class. Let's start with the first line. Is there aught you need that my hands withhold? Rich gifts of raiment or grainer gold? Here, rhetorical questions have been asked by Mother India to the British rulers. What is she asking? Is there or means anything? Is there anything that you have asked and I have said no? I have ever denied, whether it is the raiment, whether that is the cloth, food, or the treasure. Whatever you have asked, I have always given you. I have never denied. Lo, I have flung to the east and west priceless treasures torn from my breast, and yielded the sons of my stricken womb to the drum beats of duty, the sabres of doom. Now, the Mother India is answering from her side only, from by herself only, in the return of the question that she asked. That her question was that whenever the Britishers have asked for anything, whether it was the cloth or the food or the treasure, the money, the India being a well established, prosperous country has given everything to them. They have exactly looted our country. And after that, what is she saying? Lo, I have flung to the east and west priceless treasures torn from my breast. She is saying, what is the priceless treasure for a mother? Obviously, her children, her sons. So she is saying that after that, I have given my priceless treasures, my sons, torn from my breast. अपने दिल को निकाल के I have miskeeping, making myself hard, to controlling my all the emotions. I have given my sons to you, my sons, for the sake of the yielding the sons of my stricken womb. How she has given here the motherland, as we say in our children, ये धरती मेरी माता है. So the children are produced from the womb of a mother. So she is saying that I have given birth to those children, being severe means after lots of pain, and those children you have sacrificed for the sake of what? For the sake of, you have sacrificed my those children in a war to the drum beats of duty, the sabres of doom, sorry, to the drum beats of duty, means they have been called to die just for the sake of a duty only. They were following the orders of their masters. Sorry. And what was their order? Their master's order? The sabres of doom. This sabres is the war. To die in war. This was the order being given by the British masters to the Indian soldiers to go and die in war. So you have sacrificed, you have killed ruthlessly to my those children whom I have produced after a lots of pain. Gathered like pearls in their alien graves, silent they sleep by the Persian waves. Scattered like shells on Egyptian sands, they lie with pale brows and brave broken hands. They are strewn like blossoms mown down by chance on the blood brown meadows of Flanders and France. Here in this second stanza, children, the soldiers have been compared with pearls, shells, and flowers. They have been killed brutally in the battlefield, and as it is mentioned here, they lie with pale brows. Brows is what? The forehead, means their body was badly bruited, and brave broken hand, their hands were broken, their body was not in proper shape, means lots of cruelty have been shown to these soldiers. So what is saying? Their bodies was scattered in the field and on the blood brown meadows of Flanders and France. And because of their blood, the mud of the meadows of Flanders and France turned to red. The mud became the color of blood brown. This much of blood was shedded by those Indian soldiers. So what is saying? Their bodies was buried, means the graves. These many of graves were made in the land of Persia, Egypt, and Flanders and France, that it was looking like the pearl or the shells are scattered, or the flowers have been cut down. Like that, they have been buried in the mass graves. Here, children, the pearl, shell, and blossoms, the flowers, are giving a sense of softness, purity, selflessness. Okay, so means they have been killed, or the Indian soldiers have sacrificed themselves selflessly. There was no self interest, and they have not received anything even in return, neither name nor fame. Okay, just for the sake of a duty, just for a call or of a duty, they have been killed in this First World War. Can ye measure the grief of the tears I weep, or compass the woe of the watch I keep? Now, here the Mother India is expressing her grief. What is she saying? She saying, can you measure? Can you measure the grief of the tears I shedded? Means as many tears my eyes have shedded just in the memory of my children. Can you get any idea of that? Then what is she saying? Or compass the woe of the watch I keep? Or can you calculate the sorrow of the eyes that I had been waiting for my children to return? Or the pride that thrills through my heart disappear, and this sense that my son is a soldier, okay, this used to thrill her heart with the pride. That sense has is vanished now, it's lost, is nowhere now. And the hope that comforts the anguish of prayer, and the hope of what? Their survival, their security. While praying the prayer, while praying, she used to pray for the security of her children and had a hope that they are safe. That sense is also lost. That hope is also completely finished. And the far, sad, and glorious vision I see of the torn red banners of victory. Now, when she looks, the mother looks at the torn flags of victory, the torn banners of victory. So, those flags are covered with blood. It has uh, blood on them. What is that blood? That blood is the blood of Indian soldiers who have sacrificed their life. Okay, so by looking at those flags, those banners, she is having two different feelings at the same time. The first feeling, she said, sad, as it is written in the first line, and the far sad and glorious vision, means the vision, by looking at that banner, she is getting a glorious vision. She is having the feeling of glory that they have got the victory, means their children's sacrifice was not gone in vain, it has brought victory for their master. But a part of that, they are sad also, because they have been killed for the sake of just a victory, means their colonial master have sacrificed innumerous soldiers for their sake only. When the terror and tumult of hate shall cease, and the life be refashioned on anvil of peace. What is uh, the poetess is saying in this last stanza? Sarojini Naidu is making a request to the Britishers, to the people. What request is she saying? She is saying that when the terror and tumult of hate shall cease, means when the war is over, the war gets over and there is no fear, the peace is established, and the life be refashioned, means the life will be normalized, people will start living a normal life on anvil of peace. Anvil, you must be know, children, even I told you before also, it's an iron base on which the blacksmith uh, use the blacksmith give the shape to its metallic tools. Okay, so now the poetess is saying, now the when the war is over and the peace is established, and your love shall offer memorial thanks to the comrades, the soldiers, comrades who fought in your dauntless rank. Now she's saying that it's time to get the place of glory for those comrades, those soldiers, Indian soldiers who have sacrificed, bestowed themselves for this victory. Okay, that victory was not for the sake of India, means India has not has nothing to take in this first world war. It was for Britishers only, but we can't ignore their death, we can't ignore their sacrifice. It is time to give love and respect and a place of honor to those lives, those soldiers, and you honor the deeds of the deathless ones. Deathless means they are going to live in our memory forever. They are not, they can't be ignored. And we need to remember the sacrifice made by those martyrs. Here, the poetess is calling those Indian soldiers the martyrs. Children, uh, when the First World War was finished, nearby 1 point something million Indian soldiers have participated, and it is said that 75,000 Indian soldiers have been killed. They have not returned to their homes. Even the Britishers have not shown any sympathy towards those sons. They have not done anything, they have not paid any homage to those Indian soldiers. They have been buried in mass on those foreign lands where nobody knows them. Even for British soldiers who have been killed, they have given them awards posthumously. Also, their families have been given many perks, many facilities, but nothing has been done to the families of those Indian soldiers who have sacrificed their lives for them only. Okay, so here the poetess is making a request that we must pay homage, we must pay honor to those martyred sons who have lost their life on a foreign land, means land where nobody knows them. At least we people know that they were our people. Their families have not got their bodies, they have not met them after that. So it's time to have little respect towards them. Sorry. Overall, children, this it is a very effective poem, uh, brilliantly written. The selection of words is very nice, very rich in meaning and emotions. I want you all to please read it thoroughly once. Now it's time to talk about the literary devices. Basically, children, this poem is composed of an even number of rhyming couplets. Rhyming couplets means it has the rhyming scheme of this poem is A A B B C C. Now just look at the first two lines. It is ending with the sound withhold gold. Have the same sound A A. Now next two lines west breast. Same sound B B. So A A B B. Now next two lines womb doom. So again CC. So that is the basically called here. The poem is composed of an even number of rhyming couplets. Okay, the same kind of rhyming scheme will be followed in the whole poem. Clear? And part of that, it has a good number of examples for metaphor and similes. What are metaphor and similes? They are figure of speech. Even I introduced you before also, alteration, metaphor and simile. These three figure of speeches have been uh, broadly used in this poem. Let's first talk about the metaphor. Do you remember the basic difference between metaphor and simile? Metaphor and simile both are used for the comparison. What is the main difference? Where the metaphor make the comparison, direct comparison, simile uses the words like or as while making the comparison. Means he was like a box. So this is simile. When I say he is a box, so this is metaphor. Here he is compared with box. But in one sentence, I said he is like a box. So this like word is used. This is simile. But when I say he is a box, so this is metaphor. And in both the sentence, the comparison has been made. Now let's look into the poem, how it is working. See children, here metaphor, if we talk about metaphor, is striken womb. Striken womb. What is this womb? This womb is the motherland, this motherland, the surface, this depth. Okay, so here this has been considered as womb. It has been referred as womb. Okay, now same as drum beats of duty. What is this drum beat of duty? Drum beats have been compared with the call of duty. Means when the drum is played at the time of march, so it has a particular rhythm. Okay, and that rhythm gives a sense of duty. So that sound is a call, is a kind of call. It's a kind of order. So this, in the place of order or call, which word is used here? Drum beats. That word has been compared with drum beats here. So here it is metaphor, same as Cerberus of doom. What is this Cerberus of doom? This Cerberus of doom is war. So war is compared with Cerberus. Here war is, this Cerberus is the war. The war, as the war brings the doom and destruction, same as the Cerberus brings doom and destruction, same as war also brings doom and destruction. So here Cerberus and war both have been same. Both are same even. Now let's come to the simile. Simile, like the pearl, shells and flower. In like the pearls lying in alien graves, shells on Egyptian sands, and scattered flowers mown down on the blood brown meadows of Flanders and France. Here the soldiers have been compared with pearls, shells and flowers. So the comparison has been made with, so simile, figure of speech is used. Okay, now let's come to the third, that is alteration. We see the alteration in silent this sleep. Here the repetition of same sounds, ss. Silent this sleep, sir. Same as scattered like shell, sir, scattered like shell. Okay, like the same, there should be a rhythm, a kind of flow, same repetition of the sound. Okay, the scattered like shell, silent the sleep, same as brave broken, burr sound, brave broken hand. Then terror and tumult, same sound, tt sound is repeated. So here alteration is used. Now a part of this children, one more thing I am introducing you today, that is anaphora. What is anaphora? Anaphora is a technique to use same word to begin or start a line. Like here in the third stanza, look at the second and third line. They are starting with or. Or compares the woe of the watch, and the third line is or the pride that thrills. In the same manner, fourth and fifth line, they are beginning with and. So or and as all these all lines are beginning with a particular word, with the same word. So here anaphora, this technique is known as anaphora. Okay. uh, just at this level, this figure of speech or the literary devices are not going to be asked in the exam that much, but you must have the knowledge in case if it is asked, so you must know what exactly are they. Okay, so keep in mind that what is metaphor, what is simile, what is alteration, and what is anaphora. Clear, children? I hope that you must have liked this poem, understood also. I want you all to please read it thoroughly, enjoy, because it's really a brilliant poem written by Sarojini Naidu. At one side, where she has expressed the grief of the mothers who have lost their son, on the other side, she has expressed the sense of pride also that they have on her, that they have on their children. Okay, that's all for today's class, children. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.